All right, guys, so today you're going to be doing this protein synthesis practice paper on your own, and I wanted to do some of it together with you for an example. So let's start up here with the top. So we've got DNA, but we only have one half of the DNA. We need to replicate the other half of the DNA. So let's do this part together here. So I've got an A matches up with T matches up with A, G with C, T with A, and A with T. So pause the video here and go ahead and fill out the rest of your DNA, and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so welcome back. Make sure that you check your answer here and make sure that your DNA has been copied correctly. So remember, we just did replication. We had one strand of the DNA that served as a template to make a new strand of DNA. So this was DNA replication. Now we need to make some mRNA. So remember, now we can no longer use a T. T gets replaced by all U's. So if you find yourself writing down a T, you know you're doing something wrong. So let's do a little bit of this as an example here to make our mRNA. So we're going to look back up here at what we just wrote. We'll always be looking at what we just wrote. So this T is going to pair up with an A. This A would usually pair up with a T, but remember this is RNA, so we can't use that. Instead, we have to use a U. So C and G are luckily going to stay the same. Again, A is going to pair up with a T, but we can't do that, so we're going to use this U. T is going to pair up with an A. Okay, so pause the video here. Go ahead and fill out the rest of your mRNA. Okay, so welcome back. Make sure you go through and check your answer. I hope you don't have any T's, so go back and make sure that you didn't accidentally write any T's. So we just did DNA replication. Now we made our mRNA, so this is going to be our transcription. Transcription is when we use our DNA as a template to make our mRNA. So now we need to make our tRNA. So let's go over here to our other side. And again, we're just going to be looking at what we just did. So we're going to look up here with our A. A is going to pair up with a U. Again, we're still doing RNA, so we cannot use any T's. Our U is going to pair up with A. Okay, so pause the video here and go ahead and do the rest of them, and then come back and check your answer. All right, so check your answers again on your tRNA. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to find our amino acids. So remember, we're going to use our codons, and our codons are found on our mRNA. If it helps you out, I usually go through and kind of separate them into three. So maybe when you're first doing it, just draw a little box around it, because we're going to be looking at the mRNA, and it's easy to get confused and maybe look at the tRNA instead. And you're going to need your codon chart for this. So look back in your notes, the codon chart that you have printed off or the teacher gave you, and look at that. You can use either the square chart or the circle chart. It really doesn't matter. So let's look at AUG. AUG is going to be methionine, which is MET. Remember, you only need to have the first three letters. Let's do the next one here. GUA, here's our codon. So GUA is going to be valine, so VAL. Okay, so pause it here and go ahead and fill out all the rest of them. Okay, so go back through and check your answers now. This one has two options depending on if you use the square chart or the circle chart. Either one is correct. All right, so we just did our amino acid off of our mRNA using our codons. So this is going to be translation. All right, so we started with our DNA. We replicated a new strand of DNA. Then we did transcription by using DNA as a template. And then we did translation, where we used our codons on our mRNA to make our amino acids. And this entire thing would make our protein. So go ahead and fill out the rest of your paper on this. There's a front and a back.